Hello, collective. All right, this is going to be how your person views you. What they think, what they feel, what they're dealing with in regard to you. And this connection. All right, so we're going to read for the feminine. This is the feminine that you are dealing with, right? So masculines, this is for you. We're going to tap into the energy of the divine feminine that you're dealing with. Let's see. And then that, I always feel like somebody's watching me. So maybe your feminine feels like you are watching them. Maybe your feminine is the watcher. Maybe you're both watching each other because you could be mirroring each other quite a bit. Okay, there's a lot of... Your feminine sees you as somebody who is... they might not trust your judgment, or they might be questioning your judgment. Judgment just fell out of the deck. But at the center here, we see the Six of Wands. Now, they may see this as, the Six of Wands is somebody who has self-respect. They honor their value. But they're also, can't really tell, they are sort of stunned. So maybe this feminine views you, masculines, as being someone who doesn't know how amazing they are or know how valuable they are. Because judgment, it's like maybe they think that your judgment is too harsh on yourself. But now that could be for some of you. I'm also getting with the Six of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is a very independent, self-sufficient energy. They could view you as being someone who's maybe a bit egocentric and superficial. So that's maybe a shadow perspective of how feminines could be viewing you, masculine. Ooh, okay. Well, a bunch came out. I'm gonna put them back in. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because this is the light aspect, and that's the only one that we're really concerned about, right? Because with the divine union and the twin flame journey, when you're triggered by them, you may project and become irritated because they're forcing you to look at things within yourself that you maybe didn't want to look at, or you were avoiding looking at, or postponing, or that maybe you were completely unaware of. And you're just, now that you're aware, you have to deal with that. But the Six of Wands is somebody who's very supported here. And this feminine is looking at you. I mean, that other stuff is it's fleeting. Like, it might be a trigger, but the value system, and I'm getting a lot of pentacles here, so you could have strong earth placements, or work together possibly, but there is a something with mentorship here, because the Ten of Pentacles, we have this older masculine teaching the younger feminine, or the smaller feminine, they're like younger and smaller, like a prodigy. But they are, maybe you met in school or some sort of instruction based scenario sounds like, okay, that's kind of a strange thing, but scenario sounds like action, like a set or a scene or something. So maybe you met on like a blind date, or you were set up by friends, you met around people, but it feels almost like a forced scenario. A scenario sounds kind of like putting on a show. That's specific, and maybe that's where the feminine was like, this feels false, or this person seems egocentric, or this person seems arrogant, or maybe only worried about money. Now, they could also just be like, oh, this person doesn't seem like they want a relationship because they're self-sufficient and independent and a loner, and what is that? Handsome and he doesn't. Sex in the City. Handsome but he doesn't know it. They're talking about Aiden. I mean, Aiden is a Taurus. There's a lot of earth energy here. And the 6 is the number of agape love. Well, it's passion though, because it's fire. Somebody is learning something completely new. Somebody feels like this is the first time. For a moment there, I just felt like this is the first time I've ever done a reading. This is the first time I've ever looked at these cards, and it's obviously not. So there is this sense of like something is brand new, and it's very possibly scary. And it's like that dream where you go out on stage and you don't remember your lines. I don't know if you have those. Again, with the scene and the set, yeah, maybe you met in the theater or some sort of performance art. High Priest, King of Swords, Ace of Wands. Now, I saw this King of Swords and to myself said King of Wands. And then we have the Ace of Wands as this, like, somebody's going to bring all of this. They've got this wand here, and maybe the feminine is thinking, like, oh, this masculine gets a lot of attention. Oh, that looks so weird. Something with the eye doctor, glasses, possibly. Something coming into focus. There is some sort of clarity or something coming into focus. But also there's that test. There's like a test here. Because I get very bad testing anxiety. I can't even say it. So yeah, if somebody's watching me make a meal I've made 1,000,000 times, if they're just over me and they start going, you know, what are you doing? Like, I clam up. Somebody asked me my name and I would freeze up. Certain people, obviously. Like some people. But there's like an intimidation factor as far as feeling like you have no idea what you're doing. And it's here in this image, it's like the feminine, the younger one is showing the masculine. It's like the masculine's learning something new here. So that's cool. That is a cool energy. It's there's, again, there might be a little bit of, we have the King of Swords, so this is a masculine who's this feminine views as being quite cold. And even though this feminine is intuitive and can probably read energy very well, and is very linked up with the divine feminine source energy of the moon, it's because that is the High Priestess, the third eye. It's somebody who sees the truth. But this feminine is still, and I accidentally burned this card, but it's just ironic that I've burned this card and she looks like she's been burned of the heart space, because she's dealt with cold people, people who are emotionally withholding, and actually so high up in their intellect that they never dealt with the moon energy. So maybe something with your moon placements is important in this connection. Three of Pentacles is about collaboration. It's coming together with community, with friends. So this feminine does view the masculine as being someone who is collaborative. And with all of this attention, it's maybe, somebody that is known in the community. Somebody that they think this masculine is like, works well with others, possibly. Also with this independent energy of the Nine of Pentacles, this feminine could just view this masculine as like busy working on other things. But we have the Ace of Wands and the Two of Cups here. The Two of Cups is coming together and hatching some sort of creation, whether that be a literal child or it's some sort of creative project. We've got the beans here. So maybe something with food or growth. I mean, a garden, you could be working on some sort of, there's all these trees being planted here. And these trees have lights on them. And it's funny because this is an Ace of Wands. So this is fire, passion, but it's also looks very earthy. Although, for whatever reason, my camera's not focusing at all. But she's holding this and she's multitasking. This is somebody who's been doing a lot of growth on their own. This feminine figure here. And but it's like they want to come together. They want to be a part of your world. Aladdin. I mean, Little Mermaid. That's weird. A whole new world. It is a whole new world. It definitely feels like somebody tiptoeing into a dark room or a new space. You know how you enter a new space and you're like the new kid on the block. Maybe somebody, is the new kid on the block. Or maybe you listen to New Kids on the Block. Just like... Alright, so if you resonate with that one, I'm going to go ahead and do how the masculine views the feminine in this connection. So if this feels like your connection, you can cross-watch for the masculine, or if you were cross-watching for the feminine, or you just wound up here and you're the masculine, or the feminine. This is going to be the other side of this story. Yeah, I feel very like spacey. Like a little bit ill-prepared. Nothing has changed. I mean, nothing has changed in my reading area from the last few readings that I've done. So this is definitely inherited energy here. And you both, I feel it stronger now in the masculine, but the masculine wants big stuff. They see this connection as being the Four of Wands, which is 1111. You could be seeing these numbers around. You could be a life path 4. This is like, I feel more of the anxiety about the trust between the feminine and the masculine. On the feminine side, there's like a lack of trust here. And this is how the feminine seeing the masculine. Now, the shadow aspect of the King of Swords is somebody who is cold and maybe hasn't explored their emotions. But the King of Swords, as a divine person and energy, is somebody who is very decisive and discerning and watchful. And they are pretty, they're not cautious because they're nervous or afraid. This is someone who's confident about what they know, their intellect. This is somebody this is a teacher, right? This is somebody who usually does something in the justice system. We did have judgment pop out. So there could have been some sort of, or could be some sort of legal issue. I don't want to look into that too much because it feels like it's in the past. But this is somebody who they know. It's almost like they see this feminine as an asset. And with all these pentacles, perhaps that's how this masculine views, because they see them as the Ten of Pentacles. They view things as pentacles. Pentacles are earth, which is the most feminine, like fully feminine of the elements, but it's also the of the 3D, represented as of the 3D, because it is the nurturing stability that the earth has to offer. But money represents being able to provide nurturing stability to anybody and to the self. And it's here with this 9 of Pentacles. And so now, because I was reading for the feminine, this masculine clarifying for the feminine here with the 10 of Pentacles over the 9 of Pentacles tells me like the masculine sees the feminine as being very much independent, and I keep getting asset. They just see them. So yeah, maybe you do work together. You two do work together, and we have the 3 of Pentacles at the bottom of their deck. So you both see each other as somebody you want to collaborate with, you want to co-create with. And it feels very much about like the 3D, which is the masculine. The masculine rules the 3D. Feminine rules the 5D. So it's as divine creators. In your lower vibrations, the 3D rules the masculine, makes them egocentric and have attachment things. And if the masculine is ruling a feminine, they can also be like that. But if the feminine is ruling you, that's where you get into this energy of not trusting your intuition, getting so kind of spun up and spacey and distracted by, you know, when you channel information, there's a lot of information out there when you're opening up to channel, when you're meditating, when you are focusing on something, and there is some sort of like going from being blurred to this focused clarity, which, you know, it's like somebody going from being like a space cadet to like a very focused intellectual. But it's, you know, it's something with children. There could be children involved, but maybe this was you or your person when you were younger. You could have been, you know, early diagnosis, ADD, ADHD. They put you on Ritalin. Maybe you were medicated as a child, or your person was medicated. But there is some sort of, and there is like a lot of multitasking. I think both of you see each other as being quite busy and possibly not focused on love. But you both have the 2 of Cups in your how you view this connection and what you want from this person. You both see each other as your 2 of Cups. We have the Chariot just flip out of here like, what about me? Cool. And the Emperor. This masculine not only sees this feminine as their person, they're like 100% certain, and they are coming forward with an offer of love. They've got the Chariot here. So they are not a King of Swords alone, right? The Emperor is the culmination of all the kings, all the masculine energy and modalities. And that is, so the Emperor has the King of Swords. So he can choose, just like this chess player here. This is a wise man. Look at all these bearded, older gentlemen. There could be an age difference here. But this masculine is actually quite tapped in to strategy and masculine ways of moving in the world. Very, very, they've mastered that. But they see the moon here is also like shining its light on the work that they do. They could work a lot at night, or have sleep disruptions, you know, they could just be kind of up at night, but it's like the moonlight is illuminating this work that they do. So this masculine is quite tapped into the feminine energy, and they are the Emperor, which means that they've done the work of all the modalities. They are the divine alchemist. They are a magician. Maybe the name Christopher, the name Lee, the letters C or L, something with the Addams family, Adam, something with the family. Maybe this person is very family oriented, this masculine. See, the masculine is so sure that this is their feminine, the feminine does not feel as sure. All right, now I'm going to read for both of you, clarify for both of you, because, yeah, there's like nothing else to say about how this masculine views the feminine. They are in the Emperor energy, which means they view this feminine as the Empress, the culmination of all the queens. Their chocolate to their peanut butter or whatever. Like, there's no better match for them. They know it. Ten of Pentacles at the bottom here. 10 of Diamonds. They see you as like a 10-carat diamond or whatever. Like, they see you as the diamond in the rough. And yeah, with this High Priestess here with the feminine could have a checkered past. I feel like they're Wayne's World, something with the letter W. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. The alliteration of W's. I don't know, maybe there's somebody who is very interested in letters. They could be writing something. The King of Swords is somebody who typically reads a lot, writes a lot, is, you know, I don't want to say, I wasn't going to say consumed, but then I got consumed. So maybe this person's like a crazy reader and they're never not reading or writing or journaling or thinking. So they could be an overthinker, but they have mastered it like in their daily life. Maybe that's a challenge for them now that they've come into connection with their divine feminine, because this feminine has stirred their pot, and not like in a manipulative way or anything. The feminine just by being who the feminine is, by the fact that it's like, oh, the student has now taught the teacher, you know. It's like Nine of Cups and the King of Wands. That's a lot of passion. We have this Ace of Wands, so there is some sort of message coming in, some sort of passionate offer to satiate this feminine. Ooh, I think you both are going to be quite indulgent and hedonistic. You could be fixed signs. We've got Aries and Capricorn and Cancer, so 3 Cancer sign or 3 cardinal signs. Excuse me. And then we have the High Priestess, which is Pisces. Pisces can be quite hedonistic. You know you can. Don't come at me. Something about, there's a lot of Pisces energy right now. So there's a lot going on with the moon. Something about the moon cycles. And maybe that's because the feminine is kind of leading this connection. But it's like they're leading this connection, but they still look surprised. In all of these, the feminine is like, shit. They look surprised. Like, I actually did that? So there's still a little bit of doubt that the feminine, shadows that the feminine is working through. That does not mean that the masculine is, because I do feel like there is a separation here with the twin flame journey. There's always separation. So there's an arrogance possibly with this masculine. That is the kind of energy that I was getting from the feminine. Oh my goodness. Someone's really like resonating with this. My nose is going crazy. The Emperor is somebody who can be quite confronting. Their energy can be quite confronting because they're very self-assured, self-made and built, and they're a lot of fire. So they can maybe appear as angry. Temperance in reverse. Yeah, maybe they used to have like a bad temper. But we have the 3 of Cups, so that's a date, a celebration. To talk about this 3 of Pentacles, possibly some sort of collaboration, some sort of project, idea. I get this idea is hatching. Somebody's been waiting for an incubator to hatch this idea in. Now that could be like, procreating with this person, but it feels much bigger than that. although having a child is a big deal, this feels more energy work. Really healing work that's going to be done for a lot of inner children, right? It's going to be healing work for people to like get over themselves. get over yourself. Yeah, I feel like this masculine is maybe a little bit abrupt with their words. The King of Swords can be a little bit sharp-tongued, but he's also a good communicator, so that will be something that you two can discuss. Temperance and if you can't discuss it, then that's not your divine masculine, right? Because there are the 4 elements of divine union, right? And so if you don't have those 4 elements of compatibility, holy crap, my nose is not running at all. It's dry, completely dry. It's so it does that, but it's like really doing it. What am I supposed to say here? Am I not looking at something? 2 of Wands is a choice. 10 of Pentacles, again, yeah, we have that. Temperance and Death. Sagittarius and Scorpio, November 22nd possibly, or somebody could be a cusper. Halloween, something around Halloween. Maybe you two are going to dress up as a cute little couple for Halloween. The Tower, Scorpionic and Aries energy. That's Mars, that's war. War. Okay, so there's a movie, Words and Pictures. Is it Juliette Binoche? Is that how you say? Is that who that is? Juliette Binoche and then Clive Owen. Is he a Libra? I think he's a Libra. I think she's a Pisces. I'm not sure, but Justice, the Hangman, the Fool. But they are both teachers, so you both could be teachers or again have met through work. But she's an art teacher, and he's a literature teacher, and they're like at this private school, and they get this like war thing going on about like what's more important as an art form, words or pictures. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and so they're going back and forth. So they get the students involved. It's very invigorating to this boring school. King of Swords again. Yeah, I'm really tapping into somebody who is a teacher or is meant to be a teacher. This union could be an activation for this divine purpose of whatever this masculine has to teach. And maybe they've been holding back on it, or whatever project they're hatching. Again, there could be writing something. I've got my plant thing here, so there could be something to do with plants. I am getting that with the Ace of Wands as a possible passion project, but it's a great film, and it's what was that? Where was it? Oh, War. I hear him saying that, Clive Owen, which is Libra, which is like karmic war. There's a part where the kids are like, well, the other teacher said that words are lies, and he was like, words are lies, and he takes it very personally, and he gets really into it, but not, it's so uplifting. So there's maybe some sort of confrontation or some sort of disagreement or difference of opinion that you both have, but I feel like it's almost like foreplay. It's feeding into it. Also, the movie The Cutting Edge. Foreplay. It's foreplay. So you two might like butt heads a lot, and people could see it all around you, and they're like, just get a room already, you two. But the war, King of Swords and the Devil. King of Swords is coming in to like smite any sort of fear, any sort of doubt, death. This is somebody who's mastered their lower desires, their secular desires, But again, I think it's all stirring up. We got the full Three of Cups. Yeah. There's somebody like this masculine's been stirred up. They're not quite as sure of themselves in this connection. King of Pentacles. So we've got a lot of pentacles here, and then the King of Swords represented twice. You both want the Two of Cups. We've got those here, and the Three of Cups. Or I'm sorry, the Three of Pentacles. And then we have the Two of Cups in this deck too. So all three decks pulled out the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups just came out again. So that is the outcome. As long as you know, to continue and want this. And then the Empress. I was going to say the Empress came out so that this Emperor over here wasn't lonely, and then the Emperor is right behind her. The Emperor is, and the Four of Wands, the Emperor is right behind this feminine. This Emperor is, and then the Four of Wands just made sure that it came out for sure, all on its own. So that is the inevitability. This is your twin flame, this is your divine counterpart, 1111 soulmate energy, yada yada, all that stuff. It's coming together. So you both view each other as somebody that you want to come together with, grow old with, learn from, grow and build, and be a power couple. And a power couple that uses your power for the community and for the collective. So it's very like humble power, humble pie. Maybe something about a pie shop. Sweeney Todd. Maybe the name Todd. Gemini energy. The worst. And yet maybe the feminine is doing something like in Sweeney Todd. You know, he comes back into town. So there is that new kid on the block, but it's also kind of like maybe somebody's returning to their hometown or something. And the feminine's doing something and the masculine like helps her out. And through that they realize, oh, we were always meant to do this together. This is our divine purpose. I don't know why I'm being so like nonchalant with the fact like this is major energy. This is a fantastic reading and everything. It's cool. I don't know why I'm getting this feeling of sort of like, I don't know, maybe it's like I'll believe it when I see it, because I'm like, oh yeah, love of my life, blah blah blah. And maybe that's kind of how you guys talk about it. Each other and with each other is sort of like a lot of sarcastic tones. I'm also getting like, you know, very British. There's something kind of British about the way you talk to each other. Like deadpan humor. And so, yeah, maybe you're just like a hard read for each other. But I do feel like this masculine's coming in like a King of Swords. They're wielding a sword, and Pretty Woman draws his sword and climbs up the tower and rescues me, you know. And in that movie, he's older, he's more professional. She's doing something, and he's like, you know, you make $100 an hour and you have a safety pin holding your boot up, you know. And then Miss Moody's Love Shop or whatever, Miss Moody's, I don't know if that's her name now, I can't remember. But anyway, Helena Bonham Carter's character in Sweeney Todd, she has like this awful reputation. Her pie shop is disgusting. Nobody likes going there. It's like she's got the egg. It just needs an incubator, which if you're thinking biologically and procreatively, then you think, oh, the woman is the incubator, like she holds the idea. But this feels more Pentacles, tangible world, you may have a child, you know, there may be already children involved, or you may have a child in the future, but this feels more like life purpose. And some people's life purpose is to have children. I don't know why it feels like somebody might be a little bit sensitive about that. There's a, for some reason, talking about the children or having a child, somebody's like, I don't want that. Or somebody's like, well, I already have a child. And maybe that's the nervousness. But this masculine wants to come in and collaborate and support this feminine, because it's like they are actually the oven that is going to incubate and hatch this idea. So maybe it's the feminine that has the idea, and maybe the masculine's had it as well, and they come together and talk about it, like, holy shit, that's what I've always wanted to do. Maybe it's just never been put into words. The labyrinth, she's going to say the words. It's almost like, this is very specific, but it's kind of practical magic. I wish for you too, where the masculine, like, didn't know it, but they always envisioned this person. They always saw this feminine. They were maybe even like attracted to other feminines, and maybe both of you have done this, where you're both attracted to people, like you're like, oh, this person might remind you of past people, and that could be quite triggering as well. But it's like, in that situation, this divine counterpart that you're just now meeting is not the one that reminds you of the past. The past actually was reminding you of this person, because this is your person that you have been with, will be with throughout space and time. It's spherically non-linear. This was always meant to be your person, so you were with them first, right? Because everything that you attract into your life is already yours. This has already been your person for many lifetimes, before or after, or however you view time, right? Because there is not a before and after if you view time spherically. This is always your person. So everybody else and everything else that you did was actually leading you to this person. And so it's like the masculine had these sort of like very 5D concepts, but because of their pragmatic nature, they maybe always looked at them. This may have been a very serious child as well. It's like they always viewed things as like very King of Swords. It needed to be facts on paper. And so there is that triggering, like, no, I don't really believe in this love, but it's always been here. It's always been like in my spiritual periphery. And now that they see the feminine, now that they speak with the feminine, and it's like once this feminine also getting lady in the water where it's like it will feel like pins and needles. It's like this activation when you meet this person. It activates you in a way like you may have this kundalini rising, you may have some sort of opening of your chakra, one or all of them, and it may just be like this kind of strange, overwhelming physical experience. So that might be kind of off-putting or nerve-wracking or scary when you initially come into contact with this person, but it's like an activation, and it clicks, and it's like, oh, I knew I had this space to hold. I knew I had this was my purpose, was to hold this space for this feminine to come in and bloom this idea, hatch this idea, right? And I will protect her and this purpose and this idea with my life. You know, like, this is everything. This is my calling. And so it's like, you know, in movies or in real life, if you've ever gotten like really intense news, or if you were just distracted and focused on something else, and there's like a ringing, the phone is ringing in the background. In those scenes, it's like muffled and you can hear it. It's in the background. It's like a distant calling, and then it's that coming into focus, and then you come into the present. So it's like all of the energy from the past and the future, right? We'll call it that, past and future. it's all coming into focus in this moment, in this 11/11 moment, this door. And it could be 11/11, November 11th. We also have the 10/10 portal coming up, right? So you're going to be seeing a lot of signs, synchronicities, patterns, correlations, coincidences, whatever you call them. You're going to start seeing a lot more of them. And it's going to be like, it will get so commonplace that it's everywhere. And when in that moment of knowing that this person is already yours, whether you've met them or not, because your separation can be literal in this lifetime, or it can be past lifetimes. Okay, so that's based on your own personal belief system. So however you view and break down what a twin flame, or explain what a twin flame journey is, what a twin flame union is, what your divine counterpart is. Your separation could be from a karmic partner that was actually it's like a shadow hologram of your person. It's one facet of your divine counterpart, because your karmic connection is the one that you have to go through for the big stuff, like the really big stuff that lines you up with your person. If you were not with your karmic person, you would not be really jolted on the path toward your person. So they're like a wormhole to get you to your person. And so essentially your person, you have been with your person, you've been with like the shitty version of your person for lifetimes, or in this lifetime, if you look at it that way, every person that you've been with was actually like a part of them. So there's sort of this aggravation when you meet them, like, why did you put me through that? Why did I have to see that side of you? Why did you know, it's just like if you're in a relationship with somebody and suddenly they are dishonest, or they, maybe there's like sobriety involved and they fall off the wagon. They do something that's like disappointing. When you meet them, there's like this disappointment, like, you could be so much more. You could have been better. Why did you put me through this for lifetimes? There's like lifetimes of emotional assault. It's going to feel like an emotional assault. This is very intense energy, but you're both viewing each other as the same thing. You want the same thing, and the masculine is coming in with their utmost masculine, direct approach to say, like, I likes you and I wants you. Let's do this. And I'm also with the diamonds and the crystals and the stones, that imagery of, and again with Aladdin, diamond in the rough. Aladdin came out, so there's something with Aladdin. There could be a cultural difference here, or again, like Pretty Woman, Aladdin, it's like there could be a difference in age, difference in cultural backgrounds, difference in status, or whatever you want to call that. But at your core, you two are meant to come together. So it's like, maybe one of you inherited money and this idea is going to take money. And so you come together. It's like, I just had the money. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. Like, now it goes to a purpose versus just, me living in this loop of feeling like a street rat, or feeling like a prisoner. Even though I'm a princess, she feels like a prisoner, because she's not actually reaping the benefits of her status or of her environment. But with Aladdin, be yourself, right? And they're very serious. Like they're pissed at each other, because the feminine knows that the masculine, Jasmine knows that Aladdin's lying. Like, she can sense it. She can't quite put her finger on it, but she knows he's being a deceptive little shit. But because she met him at his truest form, initially, she had already seen the beauty of what he could become, and the humility and the kindness and the generosity and the type of true nature that he is. And then he puts on this show, he puts on this facade, that big scene, setting the scene. There's like this peacocking that's going on. This masculine is like, look how amazing I am. And it's like, I already knew that you were amazing, but whatever you're doing now is like kind of giving me the ick. It's like that ick thing. That's what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, like maybe they tried to make them jealous. Maybe there was some sort of like game playing that I think just really turned the feminine off. Because yeah, they're seeing them as like, you have all these offers, and it's and maybe they just don't fully trust the masculine's judgment. So feminines, that would be a holdup. If you are resonating with that feeling, this is the point where you need to speak it out. I trust my divine masculine's judgment. I trust their judgment. I know that they know I am their person. I know that they will make the right decision. I know that they will come to me. Now, if you're doing that as an energy, that's one thing. If you're saying like, I hope Michael or John or whatever their name is, sees that I'm their person, then you're trying to influence other people's energy. You have to give them their free will and let them do it in divine timing. You're not putting any pressure on them. You're not saying they got to do it on my timeline. They have to come in now, or otherwise, I'm going to go the other way. It's like, you either trust in this love. If you truly trust in this love, then you have to truly trust in it, right? And so, if you have any doubts there, like, and the masculine knows that you are struggling with these doubts, feminine. They can feel it, right? They can sense you. They are very tapped in. Again, they could have a lot of water placements, or, feminine. Maybe they grew up around a lot of females, and they inherited a lot of feminine energy and understanding feminine energy, and so it's like, those things aren't going to scare them. Those things aren't off-putting to them. They understand, like maybe they've witnessed female family members or friends go through cycles, and they can kind of feel that from the feminine. So, but there is, on the masculine side, there is a little bit of doubt, possibly. I mean, I did not see any doubt in the cards. The masculine's coming in very direct. But there is a moment of separation, and in that moment of separation, it is, both parties are doubtful. So there was doubt. I don't feel like there is anymore, but there was a doubt possibly of whether or not this feminine was open to their offer, because the Empress didn't come out until the very end. So it is like, and she was at the bottom of the deck, so it's like this masculine had to observe. They thought that this feminine maybe didn't like them, or would never accept them for who they truly were. But then they somehow got a peek into the truth of this feminine, and they're like, oh, okay, I'm actually in a safe place. And the masculine needed to know that the feminine was a safe place, so that they could be behind them, because then the Emperor came out behind the feminine. It's like they have their back. So there was some sort of misunderstanding about who the other person was, how they operate, what they're really about, because they were both, I mean, even in Aladdin, the first time, Aladdin's in his authentic state, and Jasmine's the one in disguise. And then they meet later, and then he's the one in disguise. So here, Jasmine, you can't be all stuffy about it. Like, you did this first. I've never noticed that. Never realized that she was actually the one playing pretend first. And then she got mad when he played pretend. So there could be something with that the feminine, because that's where I'm still feeling like the doubt and stuff. Like, feminine, you need to trust your masculine. And maybe be accountable for what role you played in this, of why maybe they acted like an idiot. Maybe they acted like an idiot or a peacock, or maybe because of this confrontation. But it was like you were both projecting an illusion at one point, and maybe the feminine did it first and then was upset that the masculine did it. Like, this is not you. You're better than this. Like, why are you behaving this way? And it's like, it was a reaction to how maybe the feminine initially came in with this veiled persona right? Even though she was doing it in an authentic way, like she was doing it because she sought freedom and all of that, but it was a protective veil. It was a disguise nonetheless. So there could be something with that. I don't know why Aladdin keeps coming out. With the weather change, I'm really wanting to watch Disney movies again. So maybe that's something you two will be into, is like rewatching old movies together. And really kind of like joining your memories. Like, I mean, when you come together, you're together till the end. There's no, that 10 of Pentacles coming out multiple times, that is where this is headed. This is growing old together and always learning and always being curious and like just being that kind of funky couple that's always like people watching and having conversations, like a lot of deep conversations about thoughts and society and maybe politics if you're into that, you know, like religion, science, like there's no topic that's off with the moon and the stars there. It's like you guys are going to be able to ponder and explore every topic. Nothing is off, you know, like off limits. So it sounds very bountiful. There, I don't see anything wrong here. Feminines, drop your guard a little bit. But again, even still, that might have been the issue. The masculine was like, oh, this feminine needs to drop their guard. Like they're so guarded. So they got into now they're in this King of Swords. But then when they got out of their head or overthinking, or they stopped being emotional about it or feeling like, you know, why don't they trust me? It's like, because they don't know you, maybe. Maybe you guys grew up together and you know, came back. Robin Hood. The only memory I have of you, of Robin Hood was, or, you know, Robin of Locksley's like a little bully who used to burn my hair as a child, you know? It's like, maybe you just don't have the best first impression of each other because you both were very guarded, but the masculine understands, oh, I see why, and now I need to go rescue her. Like maybe the masculine, through this peacocking thing, put the feminine into a place where it's like, and in Aladdin where she's in, Jafar puts her in the timer, the hourglass thing, and she's in there. It's like the time is running out, and I have been getting that in the last readings, that there's this sense of like time is running out, or like rushing in at the last minute, and he breaks the glass, and you know she lives. Jasmine lives. Okay, everybody calm down. So that is this sort of sense of the masculine was kind of acting like maybe a little petulant child for a second, like, ooh, Prince Ali Ababwa, and then he, I don't know how to use it, manned up, you know, got over it, understood where it actually came from, realized that it had nothing to do with him, and he could either take it personally, or he could actually fight for this love and come back, and with this logical approach of the King of Swords. And we do have the King of Pentacles that was popping out at the end there as well. So that is somebody who comes in slow and steady and methodical, and they have a King of Swords is the air, and the King of Pentacles is the earth. This is somebody they're going to come in a way that's there's been a lot of space and time for thought and for a vantage point of this situation and of this connection and where it could go. And then the King of Pentacles is somebody who has a very solid offer. This is somebody who's grounded, and they are going to hold you, feminines. So that sounds pretty amazing. And yeah, so I hope there was something in here. There's a lot of good stuff in here, so hopefully, yeah, you claim it. Claim it. If you're like, I don't see this anywhere around me, this couldn't be my story, but I like it, claim it. Speak it out. Make it yours. You are the creator of your reality. Okay? So until next time, I wish you well.